Alright guys, I'm gonna show you the exact framework I used to build SaaS insanely fast. Like this MVP right here, I built it under 3 days using the exact system, and honestly, it's the clearest I ever felt while building anything. Okay, for context is that I like to keep track of the market, the SPY index, the Bitcoin, the gold, the Forex, and it get really messy. You have to open many tabs, research on each individual classes. But AI now is really, really smart. So for example, the Gemini 3.5 Pro model can literally read the chart and understand the pattern and also have access to the web. So it basically a junior analyst. So that's why I built something really, really simple. So basically it's a daily market digest. So I can create each digest. So I can ask the AI, I upload the image, for example, and just give it context and it generate me the analysis of it. And when I like it, I can just publish it. And then I can summarize it in a blog style note. So yeah, my name's Rindy. I've been building SaaS for the past few years. And honestly, I've been failing more than I can count. But every time I fail, I learned something important. I realized that it wasn't my coding that was the problem, it was my planning. Once I figured out the right framework to build an MVP properly, everything finally clicked for me. I started shipping faster, cleaner code, and actually finishing my product. And today, I want to show you exactly how I do it using the same system I use to build real SaaS products. Alright, so let's get into the framework. So the first most important thing is to find this problem and validate your solution. You can go more in depth by using something like Lean Canva, which I highly recommend you to do that. Otherwise, you can waste months building the wrong thing. But yeah, you must clearly know your problem and the solution that is needed to solve it. After you figure it out, we can move on to describing the project. So how does it work? What is the workflow? Make sure it's clear and concise so you understand how the system works. If you do not understand how your code base works, it will fall apart. Okay, next, list down the feature that come to your mind, like everything. And then you categorize it into two categories. So the first one is the must-have. So this feature is a must-have for your MVP feature to function. And the other one is nice to have, where if you remove those features, the MVP still works. So this step saves you from building endless feature that doesn't matter. So now you lay the foundation of your idea, we can move to the next part. So finding a design reference. So it's really hard to create something out of nothing. And one of the best tips is that find a design that you like and follow their structure. Most of the design that you like probably follow other design and follow the principle that make it good. So just grab a reference. Trust me, this will make your life 10 times easier. Now moving on to the stack. So figure out what framework you want to use, the libraries, the API you want to build out, and don't overcomplicate it. Just pick a tool that make you build your MVP faster. Okay, now moving to the important part, the database. Do not skip over this part. The way you build your entire code base will revolve around your database. It's literally the foundation of your app and how it's functions. So make it simple, atomic, and designed to scale. Okay, when you follow this framework, you will understand your MVP more clearly and you know the end goals. So you don't get stuck building endless feature or stray away from your MVP. And the thing about AI is that LLM models like Gemini or GPT, it's just a really good autocorrect for your thoughts. So if you have a really good structure and information, it amplifies what you already know. So if your plan or prompt is well structured, you will get better output. If your code base has good foundation and when AI build on top of it, it will copy your coding style. So make sure everything is clean. So always start with a good planning and prompt, or else if you just go straight with vague prompt or messy code, you will just get AI slop, and you do not want that. It will cause a lot of technical debt. Alright, so let me show you the framework that I used to build the market tracker that I just showed you previously. So the problem is that I have for myself is tracking the market across different asset classes, and it takes too much time and too many tabs. So the solution I come across is that what if a AI junior analyst do that all for me, reading a chart, searching the web, and then turn it into a daily newspaper for me to read. How it works is that there would be an admin in the back would create the post, upload the chart and context to the AI. The AI would analyze it, and then it generate a summary of it. And when I like it, I can publish it to the public so people can read and look all the past analysis. So it's really simple. Now the MVP feature of this app is that one of the must-have is the basic authentication. So the user can log in, but has to be an admin to do all that stuff. And it can create daily posts and importantly input the text and the chart to the AI for them to analyze it and then generate the summary and analysis of all of it. The other nice to have feature is that comments, favorite, likes, watch list, email, news delivery when every time I post, or an auto scheduling. But this I can implement it later. So all I have to do now is to implement the MVP. Okay, now for the design reference, you already know it's look like CoinGecko plus Duolingo. I like the style, so I let it design it the way. And for the technical stack, I use Next.js and Superbase. I highly recommend using those stack because it's really, really convenient to, build your product and launch it. And for the AI, I will be using LangChain. I highly recommend checking it out when you try to implement any AI agent because their team did a really great job in creating AI agent framework. So I highly recommend checking them out. And for the web researching tool, I'm using Exa. It's really good as a web researching tool for AI, and I'm going to use that. And to make it, I'm going to use the starter kit from Basolt. It basically has all the foundation. It set up everything for me from the super base, the auth. It has Stripe payment system set it up for me, so I don't have to worry about this stuff. So I can just go straight into building my MVP. And for my database, it's really simple. Three table, my profile table to keep track of my user, and my post and asset analysis table which keep track of my post object. So yeah, you can see how it's way more easier and clearer when you lay it out like this. So you know exactly what to build and what the final product is. Alright, so once you finish all this planning, you're now ready to build. Most people will skip this part and go straight to wipe coding into chaos. But if you already know the problem, the workflow, the MVP, the database, I can map out the entire build cleanly for you. So this part I'm gonna use Basolt, which I built it myself. Is that it reads your entire code base, it understands your structure, and since the foundation, the starter kit is already set up, it know exactly what to do next. Okay, so here I have prepared a prompt for my Basolt to break it down into manageable tasks. So it's the same thing that we talk about, the problem, solution, the core loop, the MVP feature, and I kind of modify it a bit because the starter template already have the authentication, the profile table, and a bit of notes for the AI because we know that AI has a limitation. So for example, this new AI agent, it's relatively new, so it doesn't have the process or way of how to implement it. So I'm just gonna say to make a placeholder for it. So I'm gonna implement it manually and the design of the CoinGecko. So I'm gonna copy all of this and so essentially what it's gonna do is it's gonna read my code base, the code base that just recently created, the starter template, and it tried to understand it and implement the whole project to it. So I don't have to give it that much context because it already read and know all the thing that has to be implemented. Alright, so it seems to be done here. So it looks like it's gonna be in 4 phases. So set up the database, admin, backend, the front end, user experience, and polishing. Let's add it to the board. So 7 tickets. So let's do. But yeah, as you can see, once you get to this state, building the MVP becomes stupidly easy. And yeah, now you just have to execute the step. So you can go to your coding IDE and just do it. So yeah, that's the framework. So it's really simple. You find out the problem and solution, then you describe the project, and then you define the MVP. After that, you try to find the design reference, the technical stack to build it, and importantly, the database. And after you get all of that, you can build your MVP easily. It's super clean, super fast, and super clear. And honestly, when you start using this framework, building SaaS become really fun again. And if you're trying to build your own SaaS and you want help planning or building the MVP together, you can book a free 30 minutes call with me and I can help you with that. But yeah, I hope this video helps you a lot and I'll see you in the next one.